The Cold War beta has officially ended, and I finally got a lot of hands-on time with it, and I'm ready to give my final review on it. Before we get into this though, make sure you leave a like and subscribe for more. It's free, and you can always unsubscribe later. Anyway, starting this off, I'm going to talk about the goods and the bads of this game, so let's just get started on the goods. So there's a lot of great things in this game that I liked a lot. I feel like the movement and gun mechanics in this game were amazing. It actually felt like a normal COD and not that Modern Warfare feel, which personally feels more of a Battlefield to me than the actual COD. And with this beta, it just overall worked really well. There wasn't that absurd slow gameplay like Modern Warfare, and there was that rush everything and whoever shoots straighter wins the gunfight, which is my favorite kind of gameplay for a COD. Along with this, the guns also feel like COD as well. Mainly for some reason, it reminds me a lot of Black Ops 2, just updated, which I like a lot. The perk system with this is good as well. You don't have perks that are basically no use to you like Modern Warfare, and actually have good perks like Ninja in this game, which makes it when you're running, your footsteps are quiet, which I do know I saw some people complaining about this, how it's not exactly dead silence, but once again, this is not Modern Warfare, so you're constantly running, and people who are playing this game like Modern Warfare, crouch walking everywhere, will be heard, so you can just brutally give them the experience of a COD where they're not good, which I like a lot. However, gun balance was something I really liked as well in this COD, with just mainly two things that needs working on, and I will get into that a little bit later, but overall, I saw the most variety of guns in this game that I've seen in a while, which is surprising since usually it's like only one AR and one SMG you ever seen in the kill feed, but I've seen at least 10 different guns in the kill feed, which I like a lot. Also, one huge thing about this COD is that you cannot play like Modern Warfare, just camp and get absurd aiming with mounting. In this game, there are no doors in the multiplayer, so you can't just hold a door with shotgun waiting until someone rushes in, and there's no mounting in this game, thank God, because mounting, holy shit does it make your aim so absurdly overpowered. Unfortunately though, that's about all the good stuff I come up with for this beta. Getting into the bad now, there's quite a lot. So before we get into this, I'm just saying this now, I will make a whole video on SBMM itself because it's a huge topic, but moral of the story, it should be in the game, so I'm not playing kids that have never touched a controller before, but not be toned up so high that I'm playing Scumpy every game. Anyway, the first thing I want to talk about is the maps. So I know a lot of people really like the maps in this beta, but holy hell were they rough. Now, don't get me wrong, they weren't fundamentally bad, just some mechanics ruined them. So starting off with Cartel, I think this is a really good map, and there's just one thing that really makes it my second least favorite map in this beta, and that is the bushes. Jesus Christ, were the bushes so lame. If you want to literally escape any gunfight, just go into the bushes and no one can see you, you're literally invisible. Or if you're just trying to win a gunfight and you're shooting someone and they're in the bushes, you can't win it because you don't know where they are, and half the map is the bushes, so it's really hard to see, especially if you're playing hardpoint and you're on the point right in the middle of the bushes. You're most likely going to get destroyed by someone in the bushes or on the other side, and you can't see them at all because they're that high for no reason. So really, to just make this map good, get rid of the bushes or just trim them and it would be a fine map, since they should not be taller than my character, making it impossible to see where anyone is. Other from this though, Satellite was a good map. Really just the big thing for this was that it was really big for 6v6, which I didn't like, and the dunes were the worst part as people just camp back there all game with snipers, which I'll get into snipers soon, but the dunes, if they were cut off like 50% and the map was a little bit smaller, I think the map would be fine. Then Miami was by far the worst map. While yes, it looked nice, it played awful. This was the Modern Warfare player's dream map, as there were so many crosses and you could get shot from literally anywhere, and chances were if you did get shot, it was from at least two different people in two completely different places. Along with this, everyone either camped in hotel or gift shop or running the edges of the map, which was mad boring. Last up though, was Moscow. This was by far the best map in the beta. I really have nothing bad to say about this map besides the main street area needing a little work with a little less cars and a little more ease of access, you could say. Now, I do know there were other game modes with different maps like the 12v12, which I played once and it was horrendous, so I stayed on 6v6 mainly and only played hardpoint and domination, as kill confirmed still blows and TDM is just kill confirmed but worse. Other than maps though, the operators in this game need some kind of work as well. So in this game, there were like 7 operators to choose from, and that was it. And this made it extremely annoying to determine if they were on your side or the enemy, because at least Modern Warfare has factions with each side so you can tell who the other players are. But when there are 4 woods on both teams, it gets pretty annoying trying to see which one is who, as player names rarely popped up for me, so I was just guessing. Or someone would have a really simple name like J-A-Y, and their name would be to the far left of their character, not even having their name over their head, causing me to just air them out to realize, oh, they're on my team. So please, Treyarch, just make factions on each side, or at the very least bring a system like Black Ops 4 where there are little red dots on the enemies, so like on the shoulders and on the chest, that indicated who they were, so I could tell at least who is who. Next up though, the thing I want to talk about, as I was saying earlier, was the guns. So by far the M16 was the most brokenly overpowered gun in this game, where you could get one burst from almost anywhere and it just shredded you. Personally, I think the gun should be one burst at any range, but it sure does need a nerf for the very least. Then the SMGs were a little OP, as well as I believe that Treyarch buffed them for the absurd map sizes, which again, the maps had no reason to be as big as they were for 6v6, but there were cases where an MP5 would shred AR players from long ranges, and it just feels like they just don't have any damage drop off as they would as up close, and they have a higher rate of fire, so you're getting shredded from them. So please just make SMGs have higher damage drop off and just make it harder to use long range. It's actually crazy how good they were, and overall just tune SMGs down. Last up is the snipers. The snipers need work in this game, and mainly flinch needs to be added. Now, you might think there is flinch by just looking at someone, but that's just purely visual. When you get shot, there's absolutely no flinch on snipers, so let's say you're shooting someone with a sniper and you get some shots into them first. If the dude is just aiming in your general direction, you're screwed because there's no flinch and for the aim assist that he has. To fix this and make it where people who are good with snipers get rewarded, simply add flinch, so it's not like Modern Warfare, where in Modern Warfare, if you get flinch, it usually just locks onto your head and you get the free kill. But just tone it down where there is flinch, so you can't just shred people anyway. And reduce the aim assist on controller, because I should not be getting fried by little Timmy over here who has never touched a sniper in his life. And I even tested snipers out in the game, because I have not sniped since Black Ops 2, and they were insanely easy to use on controller with aim assist, so please just tone them down a little bit. Another thing I want to talk about in this game were the score streaks. First off, the score streaks in this game sucked. There were like 8 of them at the launch of the beta, and you used nothing else besides the UAV, the counter UAV, the war machine, artillery, napalm, and the attack chopper. The other attack chopper was complete garbage and barely gave you 4 kills if you're lucky. And the rest of the score streaks had no other use to you. For example, let's say you have an airstrike that takes out other people's score streaks, and there happened to be an attack chopper in the sky. Why would you use this when the streaks in this game can be melted instantly? Instead, just grab the default RPD class and shred the streaks, since there's a barrel that gives you around 200 plus vehicle damage, so you can use one clip and take out a streak in seconds. Other from this though, the new system is cool on paper that they're using, but they're trying to fix stuff that's not broken. Now, this new system would be good if there wasn't as much SBMM, but if you don't know, if you go on a high kill streak, you gain more XP towards your streaks. But with SBMM, it's extremely hard to go on these super high kill streaks. You can maybe go on a 10 kill streak every other game, but chances are you're going to get fried by someone across the map with an M16, or someone's going to slide jump you around the corner with an MP5 frying you. If there was less SBMM, where you could just play casually, I think the system would be really good. But for what we have now, I would prefer the old style, because it worked perfectly fine, and it should not take around 2,000 score for a UAV, which is absurd. So one last thing I didn't talk about with score streaks mainly includes the war machine and how it works. So I have 2 gripes with this. One being the ammo count. I think you have 12 bullets in the war machine when you get it, and I feel like that's way too much. I feel like you should have 8 max, because you could just spam a war machine into a site or just spam it and you still have leftover ammo. So I feel like there should be a little less ammo for how it one-shots you from anywhere. Then my last really big gripe is that it does no damage to you whatsoever. So for example, I'm showing a video right now where someone literally looked down and shot at their feet, and my character exploded into pieces, literally exploded, but their character took maybe maybe 25 damage. So I feel like they should really nerf that. So if you're gonna shoot at your feet with a war machine, you die as well, because it's totally not fair if you could one-shot someone and have them explode into pieces, but you take 2 damage. So personally, I feel like they really have to nerf this so you have less ammo and you take more damage from it, because I should not be getting destroyed by this thing when they're shooting at themselves, taking no damage, because I'm pretty sure if you shoot the war machine at yourself, it takes about 4 bullets to actually kill you. So that's my one big gripe about this gun. The last major thing I want to talk about, however, are the grenades in this game. The nades in this beta were so OP for no reason whatsoever. Even if you had Flak Jacket, you would still die from a nade because they had so much damage to them, and you can also launch a nade into the air like Russell Wilson going long for the game winner. With this, let's say you're playing a hardpoint match and you spawn in, and on the first hardpoint when you get there, everyone would just nade spam the living hell out of the first site, because you have the ability to launch nades almost halfway across the map. Now, thankfully, there is an easy fix to this. Just make it where you can't launch nades that long and just turn their damage down a little bit. Then for the lethal, the stuns were a little annoying, but I don't think they were really that overpowered, besides the fact that you can still launch them like the nades. But yes, please nerf the nades, because holy. Now, that's all really the big things. However, the rest are the small things I like to just mention that annoy me. So, for example, in Hardpoint, it will tell you where the next point is, which I don't like, as I believe it's catering to really bad players who don't understand, and I feel like you should be rewarded for knowing where the rotations are and be able to get the advantage on the other team. Another small thing is the melee. I cannot make this up, but with pistols, you literally melee in slow motion. You can see it right now. You literally melee in slow motion. It's crazy. And with the ARs, it's still insanely slow. So if you're in a fight, the only way you have to win is melee. You're kind of screwed, because it's literally a waste, because you can't do it fast and it barely registers when you do it. Other from this though, I feel like the visibility in this game needs some work, as well as it's really hard to see people. Not Modern Warfare hard, just like really hard noticing where people are. And because every COD does this every year on launch, where it's supposed to be, oh look at me, I'm super gritty and realistic, but I can't complain too much about this visual stuff, because I know in about 2 months it's going to be fixed, because you're going to see people running around in a unicorn outfit, because that's what the store is going to be filled with, a bunch of highlighter outfits. So I can't complain too much as that, as I know Greed will eventually fix this problem. Then, other from that, the reload speed feels like it needs to be buffed, since, oh my god, it takes so long to reload in this game, but that's just my personal opinion. Other from this though, I'm going to have to do another video on SBMM, because it's absurd and I could just talk that much on it. But for what we have now, I can easily say this game, for players like me, is 10 times better than Modern Warfare, but as Price would say,
that was an improvement, but it's not hard to improve on garbage.
Other from that, hopefully they can iron out all these problems by launch, which I hope they can, as there's almost a month left. There's like 20 some days, so I hope they get that down. And other from this, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure, once again, you don't leave without subscribing. Again, you can always unsubscribe later, it's free. And make sure you leave a like. But until next time, see ya.